from Tampa Bay's #1 news station. This is the Fox 13 News at Noon.
Now at noon today marks 2 months since Hurricane Milton hit Florida. It also marks the beginning of the end of the last round of cleanup in Hillsborough County. A 6th day of searching for a brazen killer in New York City, while investigators think he's far out of town. And are you ready to go bowling? Tampa Bay is playing host to 2 big college football matchups. We'll tell you who's coming to town. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Linda Hurtado. Thanks for joining us. Crews in Hillsborough County are in the final stretch of hurricane debris cleanup, and workers will begin a final pass today, looking for leftover construction and yard waste. Fox 13's Matthew McClellan is breaking down the massive effort. In St. Pete, the Hometown Haulers program has earned over $1.5 million from storm cleanup. Community leaders quickly established the local program when faced with an unprecedented amount of storm debris after Hurricanes Helene and Milton. The program hired impromptu cleanup crews who made a lot of money hauling thousands of loads to collection sites. Participants earned $300 per load they delivered. Today in Polk County, there's help for Florida farmers affected by the hurricane season. The U.S. Department of Agriculture and FEMA are opening farm recovery centers across the state. Today's center is at the W.H. Stewart Center in Bartow. Farmers can speak with federal and state officials to get details on loans, grants, and other resources. Many farmers in Polk County were affected by Hurricane Milton in October. Polk is the biggest orange-producing county in the state, and today's event runs until 3 p.m. A 15-year-old accused of murder is back in custody after escaping from the Hillsborough Regional Juvenile Detention Center. Authorities say they discovered Jameer Moore was missing during a morning head count yesterday. That sparked a manhunt involving Tampa police and the U.S. Marshals Task Force. Moore was eventually found and captured last night on West Keys Avenue. He was arrested last Wednesday for the murder of 14-year-old Javario Bowie. Bowie was shot.
When he was walking with these kids, with these killers, he was skipping because he thought he was walking with friends, but they were on their way to murder him.
Detectives say social media messages, notes, and an online search history led them to Moore. They found him with his parents, though it's not clear if his parents will be charged. Officials are also investigating how Moore escaped, and TPD says the state attorney's office will likely charge him as an adult for the murder and the escape. A Polk County man faced a judge this morning charged with killing his father and injuring his mother over the weekend in Bartow. 23-year-old Joseph Voigt was in an Orange County courtroom but will eventually be transferred to Polk County. Detectives say he took off in his parents' car after shooting them Saturday night. Marvin Voigt was found dead in the driveway, Susan Voigt inside the house. After tracking him to Orlando, Joseph Voigt told investigators his father was writing him for spending too much time playing video games and urging him to get a job. The search for the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson's killer has stretched into a 6th day and beyond New York City. Police say it appears the man left the city on a bus soon after Wednesday's shooting outside the New York Hilton Midtown. Fox's Duarte Geraldino has more on the hunt for this killer. And that was Duarte Geraldino reporting. We've just learned from the Associated Press that someone has been taken in for questioning. Sources say a man with a gun similar to the one thought to be used in the killing is now with police in Pennsylvania, but no other details have been released. We'll keep you updated. A New York jury has acquitted a Marine veteran in the so-called subway chokehold trial. Late this morning, the jury cleared Daniel Penny of criminally negligent homicide in the death of Jordan Neely. A more serious manslaughter charge was dropped last week because the jury deadlocked. Penny held Neely in a chokehold for about 6 minutes. His lawyers say he was protecting himself and other passengers from a volatile, mentally ill man. Neely's family also filed a civil lawsuit against Penny. Well, the college football bowl schedule is set, and Tampa will host 2 of those games, Michigan against Alabama in the ReliaQuest Bowl, and the Gators will play Tulane in the Gasparilla Bowl. Those 4 teams will bring a lot of fans and money to our area. Fox 13's Kelly Cowan has more on those matchups for Raymond James Stadium. Thank you, Kelly. They could be on plenty of holiday gift lists this year, but do weighted blankets really hold the key to a good night's sleep? We'll look at the research next. And Valerie is in for Jim today. Hi, Valerie.
Hi, Linda. Good Monday afternoon to you. We've got a warm day out there across the area. In fact, the warmest that we have had so far all month long. A couple more clouds out there today, but temperature-wise, we are in the 70s for most of the area. Mid and upper 70s is where we're going to top out today. About 76 right now in Tampa, 72 Clearwater. We'll mix in more of temperatures near 80s for our southern spots ahead of our next cold snap moving through. I'll have those details right on the other side of this break.
Well, maybe you've considered a weighted blanket to help you get a good night's sleep. A lot of people swear by them, saying the blankets help them stay calm and they feel like a warm hug while they're sleeping. But do they work? Fox's Marianne Rafferty takes a closer look. Well, it feels a little warmer to start this work week off.
You know, last week was just very cold out there, many days below average, and today's actually the warmest that we've had all of December so far. Soak it up. We're already tracking the next cold snap, Linda. So
all right, good.
It is that time of the year, kind of a roller coaster. We warm, hit 80 degrees, and then we're going to be talking a big cold snap moving through. So I'll get to that in just a second. But we'll start you out with a live look in Lido Key. Beautiful conditions out there, good deal of sunshine. We're seeing a couple more high-based clouds, and so we will have partly sunny conditions right on through the rest of this afternoon and evening. We look out in downtown Tampa, sure is beautiful out there. 76 though, that's actually where we topped out yesterday, so we're already warmer by a couple of degrees, and before all is said and done, we're going to be talking a mix of upper 70s. A couple of our southern spots might hit 80 degrees today. That's about as warm as we'll be. Then by the evening hours, we start to wind temperatures back down, and by 6-7 o'clock, we're back in the 60s. So not as cold tonight, but it is still going to be feeling chilly out there in the early morning hours for tomorrow, but not quite compared to what we're going to have out there looking ahead to our Thursday morning. So as we look at the big picture here, we've got the influence of high pressure that's sitting just off the Atlantic seaboard. So the winds around that giving us a little bit of that southerly wind component. We have winds coming in out of the south and east and more. And so that's what we can thank today and tomorrow for the nice, pleasant warm-up that we'll have into the afternoon. But we look just to the north of us, and we have a cold front that's lurking, and already we can see that rain starting to pick up for parts of the Gulf Coast from Louisiana right on through parts of Alabama, Mississippi, and then we're starting to see the western Florida panhandle see some of those showers moving through. And so overall, it's been a while since we've had any rain here around the area. We talk rain-free conditions today, tomorrow. Wednesday is going to be unsettled though. A cold front moves through, and this one is going to be stronger in the way that it's going to bring a line of showers. A couple of storms will be possible through the day, and it's even going to be windy on Wednesday as that front blows through, and then we clear things out pretty quickly. So it's going to be a short-lived chance for rain, and then by Wednesday night, Thursday morning, this cold front pushes south of the state, and we're going to be waking up to another cold morning on Thursday as temperatures fall down to the 30s and 40s. So that's going to be the coldest morning this week, and even as we look ahead to our Thursday afternoon, it's going to be one of those days where we're going to top out in the 60s. So that's going to be the chilly day behind this cold front, and then we kind of would gradually warm up our temperatures from there. But let's take a closer look at the rain that's going to be coming with that. It's not going to be a big deal for us, but we're looking at about 60% shower chances. So pretty much a good portion of the area will see those on Wednesday. They will start early in the morning. This is paused here 6 o'clock Wednesday morning. So up around the Nature Coast, Crystal River, Homosassa, into Brooksville, Newport Richey, we'll start to initially see some of those morning showers. But this is paused here then Wednesday right at noon. There you see that line as it moves through. And so we will be able to, I think, pop a couple of storms out there, but mostly just that rain and that shower activity that continues to move through the area through about 3-4 o'clock. And then that continues to kind of clear out. So by 6 o'clock, we likely are done with the rain. But notice those winds out of the north. That wind will continue. And so Wednesday evening into Thursday morning, it's going to be once we factor in some of the breezy conditions, gusts up into the 20s along that front on Wednesday. And so as for most of the brunt of the best accumulating rain, that stays to the panhandle, where we could be talking up to 3 inches of rain Tuesday into Wednesday. For us, mostly less than about an inch of rain, but still we haven't had a whole lot around the area. So we'll look at it as a nice kind of drink of water for the grasses, for some of the plants out there, as December typically our driest month on average. And so we will continue to keep that going as we look ahead past this just brief chance for rain on Wednesday. So there's a look at our highs today. About 78 in Tampa, 76 Crystal River, Northport, Arcadia. Could hit 80 degrees for some of our southern and our inland spots. Not quite as cold tonight. Lows down to the mid-50s to low 60s for most of the area. Tomorrow, our warmest day. Many spots will be able to hit the low 80s before that cold snap moves through. Light chop on the water today with south winds 5 to 10 knots. Be ready for the chilly Thursday. Highs in the low 60s. Linda.
All right, Valerie, thank you. Well, they are taking it off for a good cause. Up next, we'll hear from one of the stars of Fox's The Real Full Monty before he bears all on TV tonight.
On Dinner Diaz, a mother sauce masterclass. We make bechamel and use it for a perfect pie and sensational sandwich.
Today at 1 on Fox 13.
I'm more nervous doing this in front of you guys.
6, 7.
Take them off!
1, 2, 3.
We're going fully out.
3, 4.
Wow, the forecast for tonight is steamy here on Fox 13. A group of male celebrities is stripping down for a good cause, and one of them is award-winning actor and former star of TV's Teen Wolf, Tyler Posey. Tyler's with us now to talk about tonight's 2-hour event. Thanks for being here.
Oh my God, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate this.
The Real Full Monty airs tonight at 8 right here on Fox 13, and you can see the 3 nonprofits right here on the screen: the Colorectal Cancer Alliance, Prostate Cancer Foundation, and Testicular Cancer Society. Much more to come in our next half hour. President-elect Donald Trump continues to try and fill his cabinet, and some nominees are already making the rounds on Capitol Hill. And why the fall of the Assad regime in Syria is being seen as a big blow to 2 of America's adversaries.
I'm Jeff Philbin, and I'll be here at 1 with Dinner Diaz. And all this week, we're celebrating some very special sauces. The French mother sauce every cook should know. Starting today with a bechamel. And here to show us how he makes it is Chef Jeremy DeClue. His restaurants include Marcel, Pangea, and the Wooden Rooster in Sarasota, plus his other Wooden Rooster in St. Pete. My friend, we're starting things off with a bang. So what are we going to be making with the bechamel?
Couple of things. So bechamel, one of the 5 mother sauces. We're going to do a croque madame, and we're going to do a chicken pad pie.
Ooh, come on now. Let's have some fun with both of them. Join us for our first mother sauce masterclass of the week as we bring you bechamel and how to use it. Back here at the top of the hour on Fox 13.
See how to triple your donation to Metropolitan Ministries on fox13careforce.com.
You're watching the Fox 13 News at Noon.
Donald Trump continues to fill out his administration as some of his more controversial cabinet nominees continue meetings to secure confirmation votes. Fox's Caroline Shively is in Washington with Who's on Capitol Hill today. Okay. The fall of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad is being met with hope and caution across the world, except in Russia and Iran. As Fox's Alex Hogan explains, these 2 American adversaries just lost a big ally in the Middle East. Well, it may be the sweetest Christmas display in all of the Bay Area, a one-of-a-kind gingerbread house. We showed you a preview a couple of weeks ago, and now we have the finished product. But first, we're celebrating the season at a brand new holiday event at the Florida Aquarium. And here's a live look outside. Meteorologist Valerie Mills will have another check on your forecast when we come back.
The destruction these hurricanes caused means that charities like Metropolitan Ministries have an even tougher time providing meals and support for those in need during the holidays. So we've come up with an easy way to make your donation go 3 times farther. It's called the Fox 13 Care Force Triple Match Campaign. Just scan this QR code and the amount you give will be tripled.
Carolers, I miss carolers that actually used to come to your door, and you were telling me there's kind of, I guess, a new trendy way.
Yes, you can actually order and get carolers delivered to someone's house.
I love that. What a cool Christmas present that would be.
Isn't that kind of fun?
Yes.
I've actually never experienced that, where Christmas carolers just knock on the door and you open it.
Someone send it to Valerie's place.
Careful what you wish for,
yeah,
right?
I know, right?
I'll be like, I'll just hang out front for 30 minutes and just enjoy the show. But
exactly.
You know what? 'Tis the season, right?
Tis the
for
season.
all the fun things like that. And, you know, even though it's not necessarily feeling
I know
like
it's warmer today.
Yes. not necessarily feeling like Christmas out there. We got one of our cameras glitching out a little bit, but you know, it is beautiful out there. We've got a lot of sunshine. Yesterday, that was the first day where temperatures were above average. Actually, every single day that you see there in blue, that's where temperatures were cooler than average. And so, yes, it's been a chilly start to December, but yesterday hitting 76 kind of put us just above average. Our average high in Tampa at this time in the year is 75. So, yep, we hit 76 yesterday. That put us just a touch above that. And then our average morning temperatures were typically at 57. And yesterday we woke up with about 51. So it was a cool morning, but we were able to warm things up nicely yesterday. And actually we're going to do that again today as well as tomorrow. So we've got this nice warm up in store. Yesterday we had 60s up into the Panhandle. Otherwise, most of the state topping out in the mid and upper 70s behind the cold front that moved through on Friday. And so we get kind of a couple of days of a gradual warm up ahead of our next cold snap. And so as we look at our departure from normal, you can see we're going to stay a little bit above normal tomorrow, expecting about 5 degrees warmer than average. Then come Thursday, we completely turn that right over. We're going to be 14 degrees cooler than average. Thursday is going to be the cold day of the week. And so as we look at the big picture here at the surface, this is the cold front that we are going to be tracking. So this is going to slowly be moving its way east, and this is going to be bringing quite a bit of snow up to the Great Lakes. Yet again, they're still digging out from that lake effect snow event that they had just after Thanksgiving. So rain and snow for the northeast, and on the southern edge of that, we're already seeing some of the rain for parts of kind of Texas into Louisiana. Parts of the Tennessee Valley is going to continue to see some of that rain the next couple of days. And with it, a big cold air mass is going to be sinking all across the East Coast. And so this is what's going to move in Wednesday night and into Thursday, bringing and we've got one of those setups with widespread 30s and 40s, but all ahead of that, we're actually going to be tracking some rain. The last few cold fronts that have come through have just been weaker in the sense that they haven't brought a line of rain and storms along this boundary. Wednesday is going to be unsettled. And so right in the morning hours, we'll start to see this line of showers, and a couple of storms will be able to spin up as well. And so through the afternoon hours, we're going to talk about more of that scattered shower storm activity, coverage running around 60%. And then behind that, the temperatures are really going to drop off. So we're talking about a 20-degree difference from our morning temperatures from Wednesday into Thursday morning. And that's where we're going to be in the 40s. And so by the weekend, we kind of rebound those temperatures back to around average. Our average morning temperature right around 57. And so by Saturday morning, feeling a lot more seasonal out there and a lot more comfortable as we start out in the 50s. And so for the rest of today, just a couple of passing clouds, but we will stay rain-free today again on Tuesday. But Tuesday, I think even more clouds as that front starts to push in, and some showers will start up to the Panhandle. But it's really not until Wednesday morning that the potential for some showers for the Nature Coast will start. And then through the morning and afternoon hours on Wednesday, that's when kind of the brunt of the rain will roll through. And so by Wednesday evening, we're pretty much done with that. And then the cooler air is going to move in pretty quickly behind it. And so for today, about 78, very pleasant out there with these partly sunny skies. Not too cold tonight, about 60 degrees, but we will be talking about the potential for some morning fog tomorrow. So don't be surprised if we do see some of that as we're waking up on Tuesday. 80 degrees, so it is going to be comfortably warm out there tomorrow, the last day of that warmth, though. Then as we look at your 7-day forecast, 70s on Wednesday, a high of 62 on Thursday is going to be feeling quite chilly out there. Linda?
Nice. All right. Thanks, Val. Well, how sweet it is. Last week, we showed you how bakers at JW Marriott Resort in Clearwater Beach were creating a giant gingerbread village, and now we can share their finished creations. Fox 13 photojournalist Jason Wright takes us on a tour of the town made out of nothing but candy. Well, he is paving the way for other pups just like him. Up next, meet the three-legged pup that's about to make history at an upcoming dog show. Well, history will be made next week at the AKC National Championships, thanks in part to a trailblazing dog with 3 legs. Fox's Jody Goldberg shows us how Rascal is breaking barriers. Good job, Rascal. Well, there's a reason you've got to do your research when it comes to wedding bands. You never know when a member of the band might be looking to steal the spotlight. That's next.
On Dinner Diaz, a mother sauce masterclass. We make bechamel and use it for a perfect pie and sensational sandwich.
Today at 1 on Fox 13.
Well, they say that you're not supposed to upstage the bride at her wedding, but trombonist, singer, and dancer Jonathan Aarons, I guess he just couldn't help himself. At the reception, he was showing off his moves on stage, then made his way to the dance floor, all while keeping the music going. The bride posted this on social media with the caption, "Imagine hiring a band for your wedding and getting this absolute diva." Wow.
That is too funny. What a character.
What
wow,
a
he's
character.
Got the moves.
Look at that. Having a good old time.
Yeah, he's sure the life of that party.
All right, speaking of dancing, the Minnesota Vikings sure know how to celebrate a big win over the Atlanta Falcons after an interception midfield. The Falcons' Cam Bynum and Josh Medalis, I hope I said your name right, Josh, recreated the dance battle from the 2004 cult classic White Chicks starring Marlon and Shawn Wayans. As you can imagine, the pair watched the movie clip over and over and practiced the choreography so that they could get it just right. All they had to do was wait for one of them to get their hands on the ball and make that crucial play.
Oh my, if that's not a reason to score a touchdown, I don't know what is. That's pretty impressive, Linda.
It is impressive. I'm glad that they're letting them have fun again.
Yeah.
I think for a while, right, there was no celebrating, no fun.
I mean, that's part of the fun.
I think
you
so.
never know what you're going to get from those players. And look at that. I mean,
that's entertaining.
That is classic.
Even if you don't like football, that's entertaining.
Yeah, that sure is. And that's just like a classic dance off from that movie. So to see it recreated,
fun.
Very fun. We love to see it. This is good dancing videos to close out the show. Now I've got the
make everyone feel happy.
Got the Monday boogie, you know.
You dance through this 7-day.
Yeah, we sure could dance through it. So you know, be ready for the warmth today, tomorrow. Warmest days we've had all of December. Showers on Wednesday. We haven't had rain here around the area, and then that real cold air moves in on Thursday. Another round of 60s.
Looks good on the weekend, too. All right, thank you.
Sure does.
The news keeps going online at fox13news.com and on our Fox 13 News app on your phone.
Look for more news, weather, and sports beginning at 4.
Let's stick around because Dinner Diaz is next with the lesson on making a French mother sauce. Have a great afternoon.
Happy holidays from all of us at Fox 13.